Hey guys, it's Elizabeth here with a new video for you, and in today's video I just have to start by saying that I do not like artificial lighting. In today's video, we are going to be decking out the back of my car. I was gonna say pimping my ride, and then I remembered like flashbacks to me saying pimp my ride and my mom just hating it, so
you gotta hit us up to get a pimped out ride.
Well, now I said it, haven't I? So this is super exciting because I have been wanting to do this for literal years, and when I say years I mean years, and I didn't think it would look this way. I always wanted to get like a van and build it out, or a school bus and build it out, and it's just something that isn't like first on my priority list right now as a 22-year-old. I was looking for a new car. I really wanted it to be a hatchback. I know I'm like short enough to fit in the back of a car, like a little small hatchback, and I want a small car. I don't want to be driving around like a massive van. And I was kind of hesitant at first, but I found the perfect car and it just worked so perfect for this project. I've been kind of teasing this on my Instagram, and so many people have been trying to guess what I'm building with these wood planks and foam. So I'm super excited to finally be showing you guys what it is. Before we get started, make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button wherever it might be, because it helps my channel so much and I will be grateful to you forever. There's a party going on next door. When I had the idea for this, I brought it to my dad and I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. And he was like, okay, cool, do it. And I was like, listen, I need so much help. So my dad was like, okay, you need to build a template. And I was like, that sounds like the worst possible thing that you could ever put me through. So I kind of put this off for about a month or two, and then finally I was like, you know what? I've had enough. I've collected enough cardboard from all my Amazon packages. I'm ready to make my template. So I went outside and I attempted to make my template. I don't really know how this is gonna go. The back has the seats raised, so it's not all level, but my dad made the good point and he was like, this is actually a benefit because that means you can actually have a flat surface and put stuff underneath as storage. So I'm going to be trying to build out the back of my Nissan Versa hatchback and making it livable. And then I also have to figure out this gap and how to make this whole thing from chair to bottom flat, and then also how to be able to store it in my car whenever I want to put the seats back up. So I didn't know this was in here. Oh my gosh. I just want everyone to know that I'm doing this with my garage open. Which is really embarrassing because cars are driving by. Like that one. I found duct tape. Oh my gosh. I need a husband who likes to build and do this type of stuff. I'm not having that much fun. So obviously I did a very bad job. I told you it's not my strong suit. I was putting it off for a reason. It was a form of torture, quite honestly. So I was like, hey Dad, please, I need your help. Please just come help me. Tell me if I'm doing it right. You don't even have to like move. I'll send you a picture. Like, please help me. Hey Dad. So my dad finally came out and he literally, these were his exact words. He goes,
"Oh, sweetheart."
And he just looked at me and like kind of shook his head, and I was like, so then he did that dad thing that all dads do, and he asked me to help him measure everything out. So he literally tore up my back seat and took everything that I had just done out. And I was still just like drenched in sweat at that point, and he did like a couple little measurements and he's like, here. Bear in mind, my dad's not even like a builder or like a handyman type of dad, so that kind of shows you how easy it should have been. That kind of sums up this whole thing. Okay, so Dad helped. Okay, Dad did it all. He took apart everything I did. So he basically was like, this is the measurements you need to get. You need to get this, 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 and this. And he wrote it all down for me. And I was like, great, I'm a visual learner. This is fantastic. And then I went to Lowe's. So I have my paper and one of the doors in my car is open. Maybe I should wear a mask because then I'll feel more anonymous and then I'll feel better about myself. Okay, wish me luck, I'm so nervous. Does anyone else in the world feel this way? Like, I just don't enjoy going into like hardware stores. Everyone looks at me like, oh, you're a young little girl and you don't know what you're talking about. And honestly, I don't know what I'm talking about, but at least let me like pretend that I do, you know? So finally, I gathered all the wood myself and I took it back to the wood cutting thing. And if you didn't know, Lowe's cuts wood for you. Lowe's, pretty much any hardware store I think cuts wood for you. And I took it to the back and I was like, hey, can you cut this? Gave him the dimensions, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, our wood cutter isn't working. And I was like, what? Listen, I was pretty fed up by that point. So I went home, I had a cauliflower pizza, and honestly, I just passed out. Woke up the next morning and basically did it all over again. So that evening I went to Home Depot. I also took my mom, which it's always good to have a little support system. I got everything I needed cut and I took it home like a champ. Then I put it in my backseat. I found out that everything worked and I got to work. So the good news is that it fits, yay. A few flaws with it. I'm gonna need to like cover these in something because they keep giving me splinters. Obviously, I don't want to go through and sand all of them. And even if I do, it's still wood, so that's not really gonna do that much. So obviously I need to cover it with something. These work, but obviously there's this middle thing. Okay, so of course everything fits great, which is super exciting, but I need to figure out what I'm gonna do to cover them. I'm trying to decide if I want to make them padded or if I want to buy padding. Another day, another dollar. First things first, I really wanted it to be cushiony on its own. So in the future, I may add like maybe extra blankets or like padding, like camping pads on top. However, I wanted it to be able to be like standalone, and if I didn't bring that or if I forgot it, I want it to be cushiony by itself. So I bought like a $13 full-size mattress pad, and honestly I just went to town. I started stapling it like crazy. In hindsight, if I was to do this again, I would probably spray adhesive over the board and then just put the piece of foam on. I don't really know why I didn't think of that before, but I feel like that would have been a better option. Once I was done with that, I went ahead and turned all the boards around, and I found what just so happened to be exactly half the like width of my full boards, which I can't even tell you how satisfying it was to figure that out. They're basically just like cabinet liners, and I wanted to put them in for extra grip and just to kind of protect me from getting splinters on the back of the wood and all that good stuff. So I went ahead and just hot glued those in really fast. Next, I found an old sheet from like 2016. It was this ugly shade of blue that I do not like at all, but I figured I haven't used it in a while and it would save me money on buying fabric. And basically I cut it up and I wrapped my wood boards in it and went to town stapling again. The stapler was so hard to use, like it was driving me nuts. I have like bruises on my hand from hitting it so hard. At this point, my parents came in and they were like, Elizabeth, it's 11 p.m. You need to stop hitting things so loud. So I was forced to finish up for the night and I went to bed. So the next day, my task was to add hinges. I had the idea to kind of like connect them so that they worked better and you could just fold it up. They were like $3 a piece, which was really nice. It came with all the screws I needed. So I attached those to the back of my wood pieces, kind of cut out the fabric so it wouldn't like twist up and get all caught, and screwed those in. Oh my gosh, it's looking so good. So to kind of finish up the project, my little pieces of wood were not holding up the bed like I thought they would. So I went back to the Home Depot and I got a 2 by 10 by 8. Let's see. A 2 by 10 by 8. I had such a hard time getting the concept that there's a 2 by 10 by 8 piece of wood. I don't know why, but it was not like getting in here. I don't know. So I got one of those, which was the exact depth of my boot, and it worked perfect. I took the other pieces of wood to kind of reinforce the stability and just hot glued them on. I also might get hinges for those so that it can like close and be stored flat or up, just so it can make some more room in the back. So without further ado, I did finish it. Let's go see what it looks like. Okay, so it's super easy to set up. Put the seats down, obviously, which really simple. Then you take the first piece and slide it as far as you can go. Then I usually take this piece and pull it out, and I just push this and then pull this one out. It should sit flat. Now, let's back it up. It all fits perfectly in the back. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and click the subscribe button wherever it might be. If you did enjoy this so much so that you would like to follow me on any of my social media sites, they are on the screen right now, and all the links are down below in my description box. I also will try to include all the links to the kind of things that I bought and used. That's about all. I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah.